Doctor, we have a code Stanley coming in.
Put him on the monitor. Start IV.
Patient is not responding.
Get the ambu back.
Defib on the monitor.
Get the crash cart. Defib at 200 joules.
Sergeant, everybody clear. Shock 200 joules.
Well, as a chaplain at mission hospitals, we see patients, families, and others, friends, in the first hours of their lives literally being turned upside down. They show up at the hospital and a loved one has very often become acutely ill. And they have to make sense of the world. They have to make sense of the medical world, but they also have to make sense of the day-to-day routines of getting by, of being okay as a family suddenly in the middle of a hospital, and they may be miles from home. Rathbun Center has become home for them. Being able as a chaplain to call up and to find a room and to know that the family we leave at 8 p.m. in the evening has a place to go that night to stay and to rest is an incredible extension of our care.
You never know when a medical emergency is going to call your name. When your loved one has a medical emergency, the last thing you want to do is worry about where you're going to spend the night. If it happens to you in Western North Carolina, there's an answer.
You must be Miss Jenkins.
Yes.
Welcome to the Rathbun Center.
Thank you.
And here we are.
Oh, this is lovely.
When patients know that their family is safe and well cared for, they will recover faster. It's a proven fact.
A number of years ago, when my mother was very ill, my mother died in September of 2001 from cancer, and during her last days, she was being treated by hospice, and our entire family, who spread out all over the country, converged on her small community in Marshfield, Massachusetts, where they don't have hotels and motels. It's a beach town where they rent cottages, and all of the cottages were closed for the season. So there was literally nowhere for us to stay adjacent to where my mother was. And we were lucky and fortunate to have some friends help us out, but it really amplified the point that a hospitality house is so important in any community, and it made me much more committed to the idea of supporting it where I live.
The heart of the Rathbun Center is taking care of the caregivers. Everything they do is to build them back up so they can go back to the hospital and face whatever they have to face.
The Rathbun Center is a caring home away from home. The center provides nourishment for both the body and soul when your family needs that help the most. It feels natural that Home Trust Bank would support this great service to our Western North Carolina citizens.
This is by far the most active and enthusiastic board I've ever been on. Everybody seems to pitch in and do a job. If it's assigned to them, it's done. And everyone on the board is working hard for the success. It's the only board I've ever been on where year after year the finances are in the black.
When I first started this, everyone thought I was crazy. They said, you cannot run a house with volunteers. Well, I wish they could all see us, because we've got a lot of faithful volunteers that keep this house going.
This indispensable center, this house with a heart, is as deserving of your support as it can be. As I was lying there in that hospital bed, looking up at Molly, I knew that she was being well cared for. I also knew that her staying at the center was not going to empty our savings account. And because of that, I was able to focus all my energy on my recovery. And I know I got better faster.
Thank goodness.
Molly, I never thought something like this would really happen to me, happen to us. I mean, who plans for something like that? I know I didn't. If it happens to you in Western North Carolina, the Rathbun Center will be there for you. Please be there for the Rathbun Center.
Back when I first moved to Asheville from Franklin, I had several friends, each of whom had a different type of cancer, but each of whom was having to travel daily over to Asheville for either chemo or radiation or whatever kind of treatment they were getting. And it was such an arduous trip back and forth that quite often they spent the night with me. And I kept thinking that there had to be a better way to handle the problem. And one night I just simply woke up and said, I know, I'll build a house.